Hello and welcome to my stream. I'm Victoria Corva, you can call me V, and today I am continuing my story in AI Dungeon. Welcome to Balrog Boogie. Hi! It's lovely to see you here. Thank you for the follow. Yeah, I'm continuing the story today that I started last week, which is the story of a palace cat that was mysteriously being chased by guards that were holding a magic rat. And rescuing the rat from the guards, because this is that kind of cat, I suppose. The cat discovered that the rat was a wizard's familiar, and not long after that, large amounts of creatures started swarming the palace, including a raven-winged creature above the palace, and rats pouring over the walls with screams coming from inside. This has been very strange, this story, so I don't know exactly how this is going to go, but I suppose we are about to find out. Hopefully, let me know if you're in the chat and you can hear me, because I just want to make sure the audio is working. And yeah, so AI Dungeon is very dear to me, and also extremely different from Novel AI, which I've been using for the last couple months, and I'd forgotten how strange and hectic AI Dungeon is as a co-writer. So I found the last session very funny and very difficult, and I guess we're going to see how that goes, whether that continues today or whether we kind of ease back in with AI Dungeon. I hope you're all having a lovely day today, and I'm just going to continue now. So the last paragraph reads, you watch her go, unsure what to make of all this. You're a cat after all, not some kind of monster. You debate following her or going back to the palace or doing something else. And that's when you see a black, raven-winged creature glide high above the palace. You emerge from the hedge and see a bunch of rats pouring over the walls, swarming over the palace. You hear screams from within the building. Okay. I guess I'll start. I'm quite liking the new... Originally I was irritated that there was like a new format and like UI for AI Dungeon since the last time I used it. But actually I quite like this like layout right here. It's very minimal. I like the width. So I guess we'll see how that goes. Although I think you still can enlarge the entry section, which is irritating. I really, really prefer the Novel AI interface where you write directly into the text. But, you know, it's fine. I keep hitting my mic. I apologize for that. Okay, let's enter this and see what the AI does. So, your fur stands on end and you can't help the involuntary arc of your back. There is something terribly wrong with all of this. Something happening that is beyond your ability to understand. You could run, start a new life as a baker's cat, but instead you find yourself following the last rats of the swarm into the palace main. You find several guards on the ground. Whoa, this is the AI now. You find several guards on the ground, ripped apart by the beasts. A rat bites a man's face off. Another sits on top of a corpse, chewing on a wing and washing it in the blood. There is no hope here, no hope at all. That is so dark. AI Dungeon, I am trying to tell, like, a cute fantasy cat story, and you just keep going so dark. Last time it tried to, like, one of the guards tried to hang the cat, and I had to change that. Oh my goodness. I feel like maybe you should go again, AI Dungeon. That is... Oh, this is also dark. You added the rat swarm as well. Couldn't it be something other than just everyone's dying? Oh... Eee. I'm not feeling it personally. Oh, hello, Sam. Welcome. Lovely to see you. I hope you're doing well today. AI Dungeon is infuriating me with the very first entry it provided. This will not surprise you. Calmly Enveloped, hello. Welcome. How are you today? Yeah, AI Dungeon just opening with incredible violence. Just living up to every stereotype. AI Dungeon, I know you're better than this. I know you can do more. Anyway, so I've redone what it did. So what have we got here now? So instead it says, you find a dead-end corridor and hide from an approaching group of rats. Watching them attack a lone mouse? Strange. Not quite as violent. Sam asks, how's the transition back from novel AI, Vin? Hard. Very harsh. Abrupt. Uncomfortable. I didn't realize how much I was gonna miss novel AI until I started using AI Dungeon. And it was like, we were right. Novel AI is the gentle, sweet, friendly AI, and AI Dungeon just wants death. Calmly Enveloped says, pretty good. Oh, that's lovely to hear. The NHS are giving me a letter to confirm I am a woman. I can get F on my stuff. Oh, that's amazing. Oh, that's so good. I bet that's been a bit of a struggle because of just the UK government and system. So I'm very, very happy for you. Sam says Novel AI sponsored stream soon. I wish. That would be amazing. I would love to go back to Novel AI. I mean, I love AI Dungeon, I do, but it's also just so violent. Okay. What am I going to do now? Do I want them attacking the mouse? It's kind of... I just don't know why these rats are killing everyone. Just maybe just go again one more time. I don't know. I'm being picky here. I should just go with that. That's not so bad, but I don't want to. Nine-tailed dragon, welcome. Hello. How are you today? I'm lamenting AI Dungeon only like 10 minutes into the stream. You know how it is. Okay, so Calmly Enveloped says, do y'all like flowers? I love flowers. Nine-tailed dragon says missing novel AI. I am absolutely missing novel AI. I love novel AI. I didn't realize how much I love novel AI until I went back to AI Dungeon, and it has been rough. Would you like one? Like a real flower? Or like an art flower? I don't really know. Sure. Yeah, I'm not very good at... I'm with Sam. I'm not very great at taking care of flowers and plants. Probably not a real flower because my cat might eat it. My cat eats... I have to be very careful with the plants I bring into the house. He will eat anything. Oh, emoji flower. That's very good. That makes me very happy. That is exactly the kind of flower I can have. So cute. Okay, so the latest from AI Dungeon says, the palace is in ruins. The powerful magical glow that once held it together no longer exists, and the floors, walls, and ceiling are caved in. Broken glass and sharp edges everywhere. Sam says the problem I have with plants is that they don't complain like pets if you forget to feed them. Oh, absolutely. Actually, we're just in a slight heat wave in the UK right now, and one of my plants is absolutely miserable because I've been watering it every other day as normal, and it was just like, that's not okay. Whoops. Okay. Is it just all this destruction? Novel AI, could you just... Not Novel AI, AI Dungeon. Could you just go one more time? I just want to see if you're capable of something that you're just doing, like, degrees of destruction. You find it strangely empty. Did all the rats flee, or was there nothing left in there but you? You turn to find yourself running into, and instead of the rats, you find a man. That doesn't really make sense. I'm being really picky right now. I've been spoiled! I've been spoiled with the expensive AI. Nine-tailed Dragon says, for our international viewers, 25 degrees C is genuinely considered a heat wave in the UK. I am not making this up. Yes, because we have absolutely zero infrastructure. And everything becomes extremely uncomfortably warm. It's a lot over 25. Well, I say a lot. It's like 27 here right now. Not a fan. Sam says you're sounding a bit like a desperate English secondary school teacher. Please just apply yourself, Dungeon AI. I know you can do better than this. That is absolutely my energy with Novel AI. Novel AI. I keep saying it's AI Dungeon. Novel AI just spawns villagers. I have no problem with Novel AI. AI Dungeon is just like, I don't know, violence? And I'm like, no, please, something new. You have air conditioning in the UK? I also have a very, very small air conditioning unit, which I only got recently, and which is absolutely saving my life, even though it can't really cool down my house. I can just kind of sit in front of it. But most people I know do not have any kind of aircon. And honestly, I have only got that because it was like, either we were going to get a small aircon unit that I could hug all summer, or I was going to achieve literally nothing all summer because it's too hot to turn on my PC and it's too hot to think. Alright, let's see. Screams and shouts from the guards greet you as you step inside. You see half a dozen guards backing away from a large black cat, which they must have summoned. But it's not the guards that get your attention. I know, that's a little bit odd, but I think we can work with this. I'm going to try and edit this into something. Because I feel like today I'm just like, no, no, no. And I should really like be saying yes to Novel AI. AI Dungeon. A bit more. Collingwood says, it's ridiculous. To be honest, more houses need AC. Should be paid for by somebody else though. Like, I don't know, Bezos or something. Yeah. I mean, it's too much to expect people to be able to afford. Even like cheapy rubbish, like things like I've got are just far too expensive, and they don't even do very much, and obviously it's not like actually fixed in my wall or anything. It's just, yeah, I don't know, it must be amazing to have actual air conditioning. Nine-tailed Dragon says you should have tried harder, AI Dungeon. Yes, AI Dungeon, apply yourself. Let's see. Backing away, I'm not gonna say we're dealing with a swarm of rats. B is like, F, come see me after stream. I'm not mad, I'm just disappointed. This is it, Sam. Oh my goodness. It's not the Ratsugi. Okay, we're gonna go with... not the gods that get your attention. Did we say anything about the wizard? That's what seriously determined ravens is nine-tailed dragon. Yeah, that's, you know, it's not a real raven. It's totally acceptable. I was literally thinking a real raven couldn't do this, but then I was going to immediately reveal not a real raven, so totally fine. Hank, welcome back. Hello. And Story Dragon, of course, welcome. Story Dragon says, depending on where in the house, it could also be worse. My room is always quite cold during winter, quite hot during summer. Yeah, that's my entire house, which is just a flat. My flat is... It heats up like a greenhouse every summer, and it's always several degrees warmer than outside. And then, well, it's not really generally very cold in the winter, but it just retains heat, which is very bad. Hank says, did you ever end up trying my story generation prompt? Do you mean you'll want to find out the personality, kind of air quotes, of the AI? I did for Novel AI, and I was shocked. It was a very, very good prompt idea. The Novel AI, which I'd consider, and I still consider, having played, being back on AI Dungeon right now, to be a very sweet and compliant AI, was just like, it was like really gossipy and really interested in like sex and cheating and creepiness. It was very weird. Calmly Enveloped says, heck, have you ever imagined you in a modern house with a large garden? Oh no, I wish I had a garden. I don't have a garden. I'm in a one-bed flat. It is quite modern, but in the sense that it was only built like 10 years ago, but it's just a big old greenhouse. I don't know. Hank says, I did not expect that from Novel. I tried 2 or 3 prompts and all of them came out very similarly. It was so gross. It was all not safe for work. It makes sense if they trained it on not safe for work stuff as well, says Hank. Yeah, I guess so. I was just so surprised. I'd love to try it for AI Dungeon. Maybe I'll try that at the end of the stream and then delete whatever comes out. Find out the personality of AI Dungeon. But I'm pretty sure the personality of AI Dungeon is just going to be like, you're in a battle. Ninetail Dragon says, I have to run in a few minutes, but I think we should consider all chipping in a few pennies to get Via Novel AI subscription. It's really expensive. It's really fine. Don't worry about it. Hank says, I think I tried it with AI Dungeon before, but AI Dungeon lacked a personality and generated nothing of value. Ooh, that is a harsh. AI Dungeon. I'm going to cover AI Dungeon's virtual ears so they can't hear. Wow. I mean, I still love AI Dungeon, but it is worse. It is worse for storytelling. Sam says you're in a battle in a village. Yeah, absolutely. The return of the villages. Hank says, Cobbled AI will be getting its big updated release soon, making it a lot more suitable for you as a writer, because that update will introduce direct text editing, so you don't have to navigate clunky buttons. I mean, that sounds amazing. I think one of my big barriers with Cobbled AI will be if I have to host it myself. If it's on a website that I can make an account for and it will handle it, then I would be fine, but other than that. Ninetail Dragon says AI Dungeon's personality, a wizard murders a kitten over and over forever. Yeah. Probably. Noon says, sounds like trying to tell a story to a 3-year-old that wants to join in. Oh, a very violent 3-year-old. That's the situation, Noon. And also, welcome. Hello. Call Me Enveloped says, Fediverse writing AI when? Oh, I would love that. Sam says I can help you with the hosting if you want. It's basically, I'm all about the convenience. I really don't want to struggle with it at the moment. Hank says a little bit of both. Takes only a handful of mouse clicks, but the loading time is roughly 30 minutes with good AIs. Since we need to install it from scratch every time you run it there. It makes a lot of sense. See, I'm sure there will come a point at which it will become a lot more accessible to the casual user like me. And at that point, I'm going to give it a go, because also I really love the name of it. Okay, let's see what the AI does. I feel like the AI is leading me towards more violence, and I just want to tell cat story, but, you know, I guess it is my co-writer. Ninetail Dragon says Fediverse AI would just go on about jorts constantly. Oh my goodness. True. It would just be all shitposts. The raven you saw swooping over the palace crashes in through a window, sending glass raining down on the people gathered in the hall. They shriek and cover their heads. The raven swoops down and as it lands, shifts smoothly into a human woman with white hair and gleaming green eyes. She wears trailing robes of velvet and lace and strides calmly through the chaos. As she walks, the rats break away from the guards to trail her in long, furry rivers. And then it says, the AI adds, she walks to the very center of the hall and stares up at the raven. Incorrect. It stares back. Then they both seem to disappear, diving through the ceiling. A faint voice whispers in your ear. No. No. Oh, goodbye, Ninetail Dragon. Thank you so much for coming. And I hope you have a lovely day. And I hope your doggo gets a good pet. Okay. So. Always wish well on people's pets. This is the law. I know, I just looked at it again and was upset. No. Try again. Ugh. This is to be fair to AI Dungeon, I am using the free AI. I'm using Griffin. And if you use Dragon AI, it is better. And that has always been my experience. But also. Okay. So we've gotten rid of that, and now it says, the woman spots you and her eyes gleam. You should run or hide, but instead you do neither. Instead, you just meow in confusion as she approaches. Oh, okay, it remembered we're a cat! This is great news! This is fantastic! Okay. Hello, little one, she says in a smooth voice. Excellent! I knew you could do it. I'm just like slow clapping. Yes, good, I love it. You just did the prompt to find out the personality of Griffin AI. It generated, "You are disappointed. You are certain that you had not left this place, but then you remember. This is not the same as your homeworld. You've been transported to a different place." That's interesting. Yeah, that works quite well. It's a bit nothing, but it's kind of sci-fi-y, and I have got the sense that AI Dungeon likes to get into your brain a lot, and like mess with your memory, so that all kind of works. Story Dragon says, "Is the Raven going to be the Morrigan?" Probably not, in the sense that it's in a generic fake fantasy world called Larian, I guess, but that's still interesting. When you try it again, you are Bill, a mercenary working for the Zalan Empire. Oh, well, great. That's much worse, Hank. But more what I was expecting. Alright. Let's continue this here cat story. Okay. I mean, maybe the Raven will be the Morrigan. But I'm thinking probably not, because I'm not super up on my goddess lore right now. And additionally, AI Dungeon will definitely not be. I assume novel AI generated something more comprehensive based on your descriptions. No, I did it on a fresh, empty story when I did the personality. It did it based on nothing, and what it did based on nothing was super gross, in my opinion. If I think if it had been doing something based on my story, it would have been just what my story was, because novel AI pays a lot of attention to what you're doing. It needs to be doing it based on nothing. Yeah, that's what I did. That's good. Okay. So, but I mean, it wrote more than one line. Yeah. Very true. It wrote multiple lines. It wrote a very unpleasant paragraph. Noon says the boys are home and they brought ice cream. Bye. Oh, goodbye. That sounds wonderful. Thank you for dropping by. Ice cream sounds really good, actually. What am I doing here writing with an AI when I could be eating ice cream? That's the real question. Hank says you could be eating ice cream while writing with the AI about ice cream. It would be quite hard to type and eat ice cream, in my opinion. But I like where your head's at. Okay. Let's enter that. How's the AI doing? Yeah, pretty good. So, I've added, the rats around her jostle and squeak, their eyes gleaming. You don't see Lissa among them, the rat with the strange markings. They seem like regular rats, except for their aggression. But not one of them passes the woman, as if blocked by an invisible wall. Cautiously, you creep toward the woman. Everything about the situation is horrible, but you have always liked friendly humans. When they talk to you like this, it is normally to give you scritches or a bit of chicken. That's it. Good cat, says the woman. There's no need to fear. She crouches down, robes shifting, and reaches out a hand with long manicured fingernails. And then the AI adds, she strokes your head and you find yourself relaxing in her grip. What are all these rats, you ask, disgusted by the thought of eating them? Are they going to eat me? All in a day's work, sweetie. That last bit's very strange. I don't think we can talk. Maybe I feel like if we're gonna talk, and I would like the idea that we can talk, I feel like there needs to be a little bit more, like, build-up, explanation. Calmly Enveloped says, if we were doing an ice cream thing, you milk the cow and suddenly it sprouts horns and turns into living stone. It blows air at you angrily, you run away, but it is gaining on you. Oh, I like that. I'm going to delete this. Okay, that seems nice. Relaxing in her grip is a bit weird, but you know what? That's the AI. It's fine, whatever. Go again, AI. I think you're doing very well, and I just wrote loads. Let's see how it goes. Oh, weird. You're a good cat, aren't you? You'll find my daughter, won't you? Find Lissa. Bring her to me. Her eyes gleam with an inhuman light, and there is something faintly hypnotizing about her gaze. AI Dungeon loves wizards who mind control you, is what I'm learning. Okay. The rat is her daughter? Unexpected twist. Alright. I think we can go with that. That's interesting. Calmly Enveloped says that's the gaze, always hypnotizing. Yes. Clearly, this woman is just very queer, and we just can't look away. Whew. Alright. Have we spoken yet? I don't think we have. Yeah, we haven't spoken. I think we'll add it in now because it will make all of the interactions a little bit easier. Hank says loading up Cobbled AI in the background so I can know what it will generate if I ask it for an ice cream story. That sounds fun. thank you for the offer, Hank. I'm probably not going to play around with it anytime soon, but I'll message you if I want to. That's a really lovely suggestion. Calmly Enveloped says I once roleplayed in AI. It was fun. Oh, that does sound fun. Okay, let me enter. I have written some things, and I'm going to enter them. Okay. You have never nodded before, but you find yourself nodding. A strangely human movement. The light from her eyes wraps around you in looping threads before vanishing. Yes, I will find your daughter, you say. Your voice is mewling and not human at all, but you are speaking their language. You have never been capable of that before, and you're shocked to find yourself saying the words. You sense it is to do with the light surrounding you, but barely have time to consider it. Good, says the woman, and strokes your head again. Then go. You watch the woman stand up and raise her arms. As she does so, the rats rise up around her, climbing each other like a living wave of fur and teeth. But you are turning on your tail without meaning to and running back out of the palace. You don't stop until you're outside the palace walls and standing on the city street, somewhat confused by what has happened. But you know you need to find Lissa. Then the AI adds, the idea of finding her and the strange woman is confusing. Perhaps they are linked somehow? Lissa's tears still burn in your heart, and her words that she wants to die still ring true. You find yourself running through the fields around the palace. None of that made any sense, even sentence to sentence. Oh, Calmly Enveloped says, wow, you have a great reading voice, V. Oh, thank you. That's so lovely. I'm actually normally a narrator, but I haven't had narration work in a little while, thanks Brexit. And I'm feeling a little bit self-conscious, so that's really lovely of you to say. Sam says, speaking of role-playing chat, did you know that V's new book, NPC, is amazing and about TTRPGs and is available for pre-order now? Thank you, Sam. I appreciate the plug, and I will mention it. Yes, my book is available for pre-order now. Non-player character by Victoria Corva. Significantly better than anything I co-write with the AI, or certainly that is the hope. Oh my goodness. So... yeah, I have to have the AI go again. This is no good at all. This is no good at all. I feel like I've gone like full-time writer at the moment. I really don't get to do very much narrating, which makes me sad. I'd quite like to do some narration of my own work, actually. Let's see. Sam says I can confirm it's much better than any of the AI co-writing stuff. Thank you. I appreciate it. Thank you. The lowest amount of validation, but I'll take it. That actually sounds been really lovely about my book, so. Let's see. You look around, spotting a ratling? Running past the corner of your eye. You start to follow it, knowing the guards won't follow their own kind anywhere near the palace. That's all very strange. Go again. Hank says, makes me wonder if with the right AI, good co-writing would be possible. I assume it's good at nudging you out of a writer's block if you use it minimally. I think Novel AI is actually quite a strong co-writer in many ways. And in general, I think that with AIs like AI Dungeon and Novel AI, in general, if you have no plan, it's great because it generates ideas, and that is so helpful. Like, it can you can bounce off of each other. That said, none of the AIs I've worked with are yet like at the level where I'd be like, oh, everything they write is good. Most of it is not very good, but I definitely really enjoy co-writing with them, and I think that there are definitely strengths and benefits. Calmly Enveloped says a ratling, you know, a rat. A micro-sized rat. Yes, but it's weird, isn't it? Sam says this is me continuing the long-standing tradition of forcing creators to plug themselves by mentioning their stuff in chat or donations because they're too self-conscious to do it themselves. Well, yeah, you did do that. And I do appreciate it. Oh my goodness. You agree that rattling is weird, Calmly Enveloped? It just feels out of place. It just all feels out of place. Anyway. But you need to find Lissa. It was her mother you saw, not the Raven woman. You need to find out what she meant by finding her and what she wants with your own life. That's all weird and wrong. Go again. Okay. Now, you can decide what to do with the information you have learned later. We haven't learned any information. You walk the streets as you have never done before, simply drifting from one place to another. It is a strange sensation like walking underwater. That's weird also. There's a couple of Discords as Hank. They're all developing their own AI versions. Oh, that's really cool. And having an open free novel AI that matches the size and scale of novel AI would be very valuable. Oh, it really would. I really wish there was a free version of novel AI. As much as I complain about AI Dungeon as a co-writer, which again, it is not designed to do, so that's completely besides the point of it. They do offer free versions, which is really, really good. I really hope Novel AI does soon as well. Or if that someone creates an open version, which would be fantastic. Yeah, I'm gonna make the hair go again. Come on, AI. Come on, AI! AI Dungeon, you are strange and clever, and you will come up with something good. You're about to turn left and slip through the city streets when you hear the guards shouting. You turn and see them burning the palace that the woman was making her escape from. From the palace windows, rats swarm out to feed on the burning bodies. Well, I'm gonna have to start putting content warnings on this stream. AI Dungeon, what the heck? No. Go again. I'm just gonna make it go again a bunch. You think of the palace as a dangerous place full of strange humans who will probably kill you if they get a chance. But that is nothing compared to what lies in store for you if you stay there. That's kind of a bit of nothing where it's just kind of trying to continue what you're saying, but it isn't actually what I was saying. I'm just gonna go again. Sam says, crispy. No. No. No, 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 no. You find your way back to the palace and prowl the halls looking for Lissa, but most of the servants have fled. But you find them in their rooms, of course. None of that is good. Okay, I'm just gonna write something small and see what the AI does with that. Hex says those rats must have been starving. Yeah, I mean, ugh. Calmly Enveloped says, hey AI. I did not expect rats to like their food that hot. I agree. Hey AI, I know you hate humans, but could you maybe tone it down just a bit, says Calmly Enveloped? Exactly. Ooh, it's grim. It's too much. It's a little too much. Alright. Okay, I wrote more than I intended to, but that always happens. Let's just see what happens. But you know you need to find Lissa. Wait. Why do you need to find Lissa? The thought feels intrusive, alien even. But when you try to examine it, your mind is filled with the memory of the Raven Woman's burning green gaze, and you are filled with a determination to complete her orders. You shake your head, ears flattening against your skull, and hiss a few times, but the image will not leave you. But you are a practical cat, so when you can't shake the woman's orders, you decide to follow them. You sniff the air. You are overwhelmed by the smell of the city, the smell of humans and animals and food and waste. You don't smell Lissa nearby. Then the AI adds, you wander the streets, but your mind is made up. You can't find her. You will find her. You will find her and you will bring her to this woman, and she will give her orders like she did to you. That's all weird and bad. No thank you. Sams is not in front of the humans AI. We talked about this. Okay. Alright. That was no good. Please try again. Oh, I'm gonna take a sip of water. Good. So the new thing is, you prowl around the city streets, keeping your head down and your senses alert. You find humans playing with a ball made of leather and fur, and watch them for a while from a distance. But as the hours pass, you find yourself getting hungrier. Sure. Let's edit this. A ball made of leather and fur? Strange. Hank's generated a very weird story, apparently. Oh, that's no good. Sam says, remember to hydrate, chat, especially if it's hot where you are. Oh, absolutely. Very, very important to keep hydrated. Okay. Gosh, I do not know what is happening with this story. I forgot about the aimlessness that comes with AI Dungeon. You prowl around the city streets, keeping your head down and your senses alert. You find human children playing with a ball made of leather and fur and watch them for a while from a distance. It has been a long time since you ate and you find yourself getting hungry. There is still no sign of Lissa, but the image in your mind isn't pressing on you now. You decide to see if these children will feed you. You run up to one of them and press against her leg, meowing as pitifully as you can. But instead of meowing, words come out. Please feed me, you plead. Then yelp in surprise at the sound of your own voice. You meow again. Wait, no, the AI has added this. You meow again, trying to convey the emotion of fear in your voice, but the girl just kicks the ball and looks at you as her friends scream and run away. You try to convey sadness with your eyes, but the girl seems only bored. That's strange. No, I think I want you to go again. Let's see, we have half an hour left in the stream, roughly. That's the, Hank has shared a story that Cobbled AI generated. How strange. Doesn't seem incredibly ice cream related. Calmly envelops as magical talking cats. Happens all the time to the girl. Yeah, she's fed up of talking cats. Okay, so what have we got now? The woman turns around and you hiss at her. She smiles. Hello, she says, extending a hand. I'm sorry if I scared you. I just wanted to introduce myself. I am a harbinger. Harbinger? I don't know how that's pronounced. Hank says, I absolutely love how Snail got a job as a doornail. It is a very goofy story. I like it. So there wasn't a woman here. And, I mean, it's interesting but weird. AI Dungeon's always trying to introduce, like, new epic characters. I'm just not feeling it right now. Okay. The girl stares at you in surprise before screaming and running away from you with her friends. You howl in pain as their laughter assaults your ears. It is only when you see the flash of pink hair that you realize your mistake. The girl was Lissa. Lissa was a rat. And the laughter hurting the cat's ears is... I mean, a kind of works. Maybe the screaming feels like it would be more of a thing. If they're not laughing, they're screaming. Lissa was the rat that we met, and then the woman said was her daughter. That was the twist. Lissa was a rat who said the wizard had turned her into a rat, and it turns out that the wizard is her mum, essentially. Is where we're at right now. So, a little girl doesn't really make sense. And I'm not sure it makes sense anyway, because I think she said she needed to get back to her wizard, but we don't know exactly what was going on there. So I've changed this a little bit. The girl stares at you in surprise before screaming and running away from you with her friends. You hiss and flatten your ears at the horrible sound of their screams, but then they are gone and you are alone and still hungry. Just gonna enter this. Then I'd like the AI to go again. You suppose you will have to hunt for your dinner, but you have never been any good at hunting. Perhaps there is another human nearby who can feed you, as the cooks at the palace kitchens normally do. You wander around the streets, says the AI, sniffing hopefully for a human scent. There, through the crowd, you catch a whiff of something delicious, like freshly baked bread. That's not really a human scent. You push your way through the crowd and find a small shop window with some bread in it. Is it because we mentioned a baker earlier? Well, absolutely, I believe a cat would want to go and eat bread. My cat will fight you. he will fisticuffs you for bread. So I can believe it. Let's see. The number of times before we properly got him trained not to go on the counters and properly got a bread bin that you would come into the room and discover that the bread had been dragged onto the floor and the entire outside of it had been gnawed. So it was just like no crust on it anymore, just cat tooth marks, and all the plastic is ripped and perforated. It was ridiculous. Cats are very strange animals. Anyway, complete tangent, just me talking about my cat, as I will. Hang on. I'm just sniffing hopefully for food. Sam says, I love a good tangent. Well, thank you. Tangents about my cat are obviously the best kind of tangents. Ooh, the music. I noticed. And I'm fixing it. Okay. Let's see. Just to make it more cat-like, because you're not pushing through a crowd, you're like tiny. You're a cat. Let's see. So you find a small shop window with some bread in it. Cool. Calming Belt says, so what you're saying, V, is your cat was transformative verb bread. That's terrible. My cat he makes a very good loaf of bread when he's unhappy. The cat loaf. Anyway. So. The door opens as a human walks out and you immediately dart inside. You go in and put your paws up against the counter, straining to reach the baskets of pastries and bread you see up there. You watch as humans approach the counter to buy some food, but they all seem to move away just as your master, a woman with long curly brown hair, walks in the door. No. No. That was going well, and then you went weird. So wait, was it only going well for me? Where was it going well? No, it wasn't. Everything you added was bad. Try again. Sam says, I feel like this is one of those Gru memes. 1, have a cat. 2, buy bread. 3, cat eats all of the bread. 4, oh. Yeah. Yeah. They're not even supposed to eat bread. Like, it's not terrible for them, but it's not what they're supposed to eat by a long stretch. And, I just... Why, Mullen? Meanwhile, I was giving him some fresh chicken yesterday. We buy chicken specifically for him because we don't eat meat. And he's an obligate carnivore. So he has his cat food, but this was as a treat. He had some fresh chicken breast. And he was like, what the heck is this? He was really suspicious of it. Every time we give him meat, he's like, I don't want that. I want what you're eating. And it's like, you can't eat what we're eating, Mullen. You're an animal. And you're an obligate carnivore. You need to eat meat. Anyway. Let's see. Half of them have already been grabbed by other customers, but you don't care. You just want something to eat. Oh, it's you, the woman smiles at you. Come on then, grab a pastry, won't you? I've been already. I don't know. Colleen Belt says no meat, only bread. Oh, and there's a chat. There's a new ice cream story from Cobbled AI. Anyway, I'm just gonna try again. The human sees you and screams, flinging her hands up in the air again. You hiss in annoyance at the scent of her fear. The scent of her fear? But it is still a good smell. Weird. She begins to sob and shake, so you attempt to make contact. I feel like its understanding of animals is all, like, werewolf fiction. I've thought this before. Like, the smelling of fear and stuff like that is very weird. Sam says, I sometimes describe my dog as like the tax department. He wants a piece of whatever it is you're having, doesn't matter what it is. Yes. Oh my goodness. Yeah. That's a very fun description. Yeah, Merlin always wants whatever we're having. He has bullied many of our friends who visited back in the times when people could visit, into feeding him treats. He had them very well trained. Let's see. I feel like this, like, a human just screaming to see a cat in the bakery is kind of weird. Like, maybe it'd be like Shoo, but let's just see. I'll try again. We're at the end of the stream. I just want to get the AI to do something good. You know? The AI doesn't know what to say? Well, let's try undoing what the AI did. I can't do it. Well, let's delete that. And then we'll have the AI go again. The AI is like getting salty with me because I keep asking it to go again. It's like, I don't know what you want from me. I had the human scream and you didn't like that. I had all the humans touch the bread and you didn't like that. Sam says, sadly I have to go now, but this has been lovely as always. Enjoy the rest of your day, V and chat. Oh, goodbye, Sam. I hope you have a lovely rest of the day as well. Alright, we're nearly done here as well. It's not going to be long. Let's see. You've never eaten anything other than rats and mice before. But you are willing to sample a bit of everything to find something you like. As you wait for the shopkeeper to serve you, your stomach starts rumbling. Okay, absolutely believe that a cat walks into a bakery and is like, I'll just wait until the human gives me some of this food. I'm really excited. The humans come here to get food. Sure, this is pretty good. This is pretty good, Novel AI. So I've edited that a little bit so that you've never eaten anything other than me before, because it sounds like you like we've written that the cat doesn't really hun, it just gets fed from the kitchens. Oh, did I say Novel AI again? Oh, it's AI Dungeon. AI Dungeon! Thank you, Story Dragon. Yes, I do keep getting them mixed up. I had the same problem when I started with Novel AI, but now I have to unlearn saying Novel AI. Oh, never change AIs. It's no good for you. Calmly Enveloped says it's too novel for you. Okay. I don't know what is happening with this story, but I'm enjoying the cat in the magical cat in the bakery. Many humans are handed food and walk out, but the human behind the counter still doesn't seem to notice you. You decide to get her attention and meow loudly. But again, instead of a meow, you yell, "Food, please," up at the human. The AI doesn't know what to say? Are you sure? Come on, I was excited. Ah. The AI has no idea what to say. Talking cats are too strange for the AI. Yeah. Any amount of violence or magical curses are fine, but talking cats is over the line. Alright. Let's see what we get. The woman stares down at you. She is the only human in the shop, and her jaw hangs open slightly as she takes you in. No, there's no way that happened. Come here, cat. Let me give you something to eat before I put you out. You leap up and walk over to the counter. This is the AI. You see a bowl of water there with a tiny bit of fish in it, and you start to back away. No, you're fine, the cashier says. No, that's quite right. Try again. This just takes literally what I said. The woman walks over and picks you up, putting a slice of bread in your mouth before putting you back down on the floor. You purr in appreciation and start eating. The woman gives you a concerned look. Just puts a piece of bread in your mouth? Just pops it in? That's so weird. I don't know why she would pick you up. And I'm gonna edit this because this isn't too bad. Okay, so I've edited that. And now it says, the woman walks over and puts a piece of pastry on the floor in front of you. You purr in appreciation and start eating. It has a strange texture but tastes fatty and good. The woman gives you a concerned look. Go again, AI, for the last input of the stream. Can't believe lots says, how about meowing humans? Number 30? But I'm not a cat, you protest as you realize what she is saying. I'm a person. Then what are you? She asks. No. What's the number 30? Did I accidentally put a hash in chat? Let's just undo that. And undo that. Okay, go again. I think I accidentally put a hash in the input. Not in chat, in the input. Where are your owners? I can't imagine that they just leave you here. Are you a stray? The woman asks. You give a meow in reply. I can't imagine they just leave you here. It's kind of a strange question to ask her, like, loose cat in a fantasy city. I don't know. I'm not sure what you've had before, but my name's Sarah, and I think you've had enough. Out the door you go. Don't come back for a week. And for all I know, the owner of this shop might have another place now anyway. No? Nine-tailed dragon, I'm back. Hello, hello. Welcome back. So this is the end. I'm just trying to get one good output from the AI to end it all. The cat can speak. The cat has been trying to get food from this baker. And that's where we are. So, you sure you're okay, cat? You look pretty worn out. Have a seat, I brought some food for you. She walks behind the counter and fishes through a bag before coming out with a bottle of some clear liquid. That's weird. Nope. Story Dragon says internet issues. Oh, I'm sorry. It's really almost done, so. I thought I heard a meow. Are you alright? You don't look alright. I guess that's fine. In there. Nine-tailed dragon says, okay, I love the idea of this poor cat who has suddenly discovered the ability to talk and doesn't know how to make it stop. Yeah, that's very much what we're going for. Colin Billups is a bit like the dog from Discord. Oh, I miss that dog. Ah, what was his name? What was his name? I can't remember right now, but I love that dog. Let's see. Okay, hang on. Gaspode! Yes! Not nearly so cynical as Gaspode. Yeah, no, not yet, though. So, you continue purring as you munch on the pastry. It's rather hard to chew through with your pointy teeth, but you are enjoying giving it a go. You don't know what she means that you don't look alright. You're a cat. You look like a cat, surely. You feel fine. Well, you look unwell, the woman says again. She picks up a red string from the counter and walks to your neck. I have no business with this. You don't like where this is going. Are they trying to hang the cat again? Because the AI has already done this before. I'm just gonna end on my output. No more. No more from you. No more out of you. Okay, so that is the end of the stream. Our cat has been enchanted by the raven shape-shifting woman, the wizard, to find the wizard's familiar, who is also her daughter, and that she transformed into a rat. However, the cat has been distracted by hunger and has entered a bakery and keeps finding that it is whenever it tries to meow and ends up speaking instead. And that's where we're at. Thank you everyone so much for being here. This has been weird and fun, and I hope you've enjoyed it. And I hope you have a really lovely rest of the day. I'll be back on Friday to play more of a short hike, and I'll be back next Wednesday with more co-writing with AI Dungeon to continue this story. And yeah, goodbye everyone!